There we go. The alert went out. So it should be up and live now. The alert went out. Mute that.
There we go.
So it should Perfect. Be up and live
now. Let me turn my volume down there. Okay.
There's that. There's Michael Mullins.
Okay.
There's Shay.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Welcome, Shay.
Yep. Shay. Can hear you. We're up. We're live. We should be good to go.
All right.
How you doing, buddy? Jesus, it seems like I haven't seen you in years.
Yeah. It's been years.
I'm doing good. Just trying to, get some. I'm trying to clean my desk off, and
good luck with that.
I succeeded in one desk, but I can actually see the desk now, parts of it.
Oh, awesome!
That's different.
We got Amber. We got Mike.
Hey, it's the birthday girl.
We got Mike Badger.
Happy birthday, Amber.
Happy birthday, Amber.
Happy birthday, Amber.
Happy birthday. Okay, so we might as well do our typical introductions. Chris, you want to introduce yourself?
Well, hey everyone, I'm Chris Rhodes. You most probably know me from the coin groups, some other coin groups on Facebook. I have Chris's Coin channel on YouTube, where I'm slightly active, and I write blog articles. And the name of my blog is Adventures in Coin Roll Hunting. So check it out. There's some good information there. And I'm a collector and a lover of all things numismatic.
Go ahead, Frank.
Okay, hi. I am Frank Waddell, also known as Coin Dragon. Most of you know me from here, although I do frequent some Facebook pages. I've been collecting for roughly 25 years, a little bit heavier in the past 5 or so, specializing in varieties and errors and link incense, and other type coins, but that's pretty much it.
Good, Shay.
All right, I'm Shay Hoffmaster. I have manticcoins.com and a YouTube channel called Mantic Coins, where we do live coin roll hunting. We are in a little bit of a hiatus right now from doing YouTube because we're kind of revamping a few things, changing things up, changing some of the games, you'll see when we come back. But I have been doing coins, or looking at coins, collecting coins, buying and selling coins for the last few years, and have a passion for varieties and errors. I'll get the junkiest variety you can find, as long as it's variety, because I love to look at it, right? I love to take pictures. I love to just soak it all up, all the little points on the coin, because I want to be able to spot those coins out in the wild and cherry pick them. So that's another thing I'm passionate about, is going to coin shows and shops and cherry picking. So there you go.
I'll also introduce myself. So my name's Jeffrey. I run the YouTube channel, Shimar Coin Chats, where you're at right now, of course. My focus and specialty is die progressions and die trends. So that ties in directly with minting process, errors, varieties, things all along those lines. So should be good. So you want to help pull photos tonight, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me go ahead and get things rolling, and just give me a few minutes, and I'll be on.
Yeah, give me a second here. I got the first one pulled up. So we have a few backed up from last week when we didn't have a show. So
are you grabbing Ida or silver nitrate?
I have Idas.
Okay.
There's that.
Who's getting yelled at?
You hear my kids yelling in the other room?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, come on now.
That's all right. 2 weeks ago, we thought Jessica's kid was getting murdered. There's Shay yelling at him. Shut up! Shut up in there!
New kids.
Yeah, my kids keep knocking me off the internet
Okay.
with that darn Fortnite.
Okay, so I got this first photo pulled up here from Ida. Let me get back to. So she says, "Can you tell me what you think about this coin? You know, grading, etc." And she says, "Thanks." So we have here an 81 Philadelphia nickel. What do you guys think?
It's brown. Is she looking for errors?
maybe the
Yes,
tone.
that's
of
more.
the
That's what I'm assuming.
I
So I imagine if you get this in front of you, it's going to be pretty shiny.
Yeah, that's a lustrous one. 81, not bad too. The 80s are.
I don't know if it. I don't know if it's the picture in this first one, but it looks kind of sort of scratch type of thing. This picture kind of makes it hard, but probably an AU range coin. But
Yeah,
from the picture, it kind of looks polished to me. But
yeah, and I don't see anything. Nothing's jumping out at me like doubling or anything other than just the tone and. I mean, some of the toning, like you can get that from mint package. You'll see mint sets that sometimes the plastic gets a hole in it and it gets some toning on the nickel. It's quite common. And it's pretty. I've bought sets just because of the beautiful looking nickel that it was toned. If that's your thing.
yeah, 60s. I like searching the 60s proof sets. So a lot of times you'll get those nickels that have like a purple or blue hue to them.
Doesn't look like full steps, but I can't quite tell for sure with the lighting.
Are you presenting, Mr. Jeff?
I can switch back. I'll switch in the. I switched to general because Shay was talking.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, I don't think there's anything really special with it. I put it in AU just because of his face scratches up high, but
yeah, it's a nickel, Jefferson nickel. Let's see what. I'm almost ready with silver nitrate, so let me just pop it in there.
Hey, Z.
you got Z squared.
Hey, Mr. Bill. Oh, this, yeah.
So this was from Silver Nitrate. He says, this is from a penny box challenge between Rob Fine's Treasure and Silver Nitrate. I think it's a late die state, small over large date, but would like to get a third-party decision. And he provided some video, but I'm not sure I'm prepared to load a video in. Can y'all see it? Yeah, y'all can see it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got you presenting.
So let's see. I'm not. Usually on the small over large, you have the. You can actually see the outline on the 0 of the date. I see this part of the 6, I think, is kind of typical of master die hub or hub doubling, right?
I'm doubling, yep.
On the 9 and the 6.
That is extraordinarily common on those two.
I mean, it is looks like a small date 1960.
Yeah, it is. And Chris nailed it too, the master die engraving.
Man, I keep getting knocked off the internet. I'm getting a little upset.
How dare they?
Yeah, I know. So yeah, this is master die engraving.
Yep.
First time I saw
Hammer
it,
agrees on that one. It's just been a normal small.
I thought the same thing the first time I had one.
I guess while we're pulling up some more photos, I know one of Chris's topics for this week was unicorns, such as the 43 bronze and things of that nature. So, Chris, you want to start that off?
I think even stuck.
Yeah, Chris just froze again.
What was it about the bronze 43 now?
So Chris wanted to talk about, the unicorn type coins, like the 43 type, the 43 bronze, probably classify the 64 SMS, the 1913 V nickel, things of that nature. So it's kind of a broad, open type conversation if you guys want to talk about anything like that.
Like a 55 or something like that. Well, they are out there, but the reason that they command such a high premium is they're scarce.
We got Cajun tonight too.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey,
so this is kind of open and broad. These are the type of questions, the unicorns are the types of questions that we get emailed to us all the time. And I'd say 99.99999% of the time, it's not it. Not it. So it can be difficult and it can be frustrating for us at times answering the same type of email. But that's just the nature of the beast at this point when you sit in a more of an educational type seat where people, value your opinion at least. But they're out there. People find the 43 bronzes every now and then. What is it? The 69S double die number 1? Those get found every now and then. I'd classify those as a unicorn. So they're out there. The chances of finding them are really slim. Chris, did you have what direction did you want to kind of sort of take this?
I have to talk really fast because I may get kicked off the internet again.
Go.
Actually, I wanted to dive into it a little bit further too, because I think where we come in, we need to keep people grounded when it comes to this sort of thing. And I mean, there are so many of those unicorns out there. You mentioned, the 43 bronze, of course, the 69S double die. But then there's all these other weird ones like the the Black Beauty nickels, not necessarily unicorns, but the stuff you're finding in circulation, you're probably not going to find Black Beauty nickels or be able to determine that they're Black Beauties. Experimental rinse, I see that come up in waves every once in a while. There's some YouTubers out there that hype these things up and make people think that they're going to find this stuff in their pocket change and it's worth thousands of dollars. And it's great that they're getting people interested in the hobby, but I think they need to make sure people understand that this stuff is rare, and that's why it's worth that kind of money. If you have like 6 of these black nickels that you got in one roll from a circulated bankroll, I mean, chances are they're not Black Beauties, right? That's just where we need to make sure we're giving people good information. And not confusing information, not giving them false hope.
Yeah, I see that a lot of these some of these channels that do those. Oh, you could find this $80,000 coin in pocket change. I mean, of course, it's a good thing by bringing in new people into the hobby and interest, but there's a fallacy there that where you give them that false hope that can be detrimental at times. What happens is they will think they have this coin over and over again, and they just they just continuously get let down and let down and let down, and they want to throw in the towel after that. So it's a fine line with that, with that clickbait type stuff, but that's something that's bound to happen, is probably going to continue to happen.
Especially when Fridays are so minute and it's easy to get them confused. Like, is this a double column or a hit? Sorry, Shea, I didn't mean to jump at anything.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I get really passionate about this because I think the unicorns are what dreams are made of, man. That's why we're here. That's why we all have a different reason for hunting coins. We all have a different reason. Some of us are collectors. Some of us want to find silver. Some of us want to find the arid variety. Some of us want to have our name in a permanent record somewhere for finding something cool. Some people may be tired of living paycheck to paycheck, and they want to find a way to make a little bit of extra cash. Some people may want to find the best coin anybody else has and put together a collection no one else can beat. There's so many different reasons people are doing coin roll hunting and looking at coins, or maybe you just want to know what the value of your grandfather's coin collection is that you're holding. Maybe because you don't know if you should insure it, keep it somewhere safe, sell it off. Will it be worth more later? How do you know you have something rare or not? I mean, all these questions and all these things come up all the time. And I think if, for me personally, I can answer, why do I look for coins? I am looking for those unicorns. I would love to find those unicorns, but I also am grounded in reality and know that they are so rare. It's rare just to find, a little a certain die break or clash or maybe a RPM or who knows. And I've gone several years without finding the big unicorn, right? There's some people that look through 70 coins and found a unicorn. So you never know. You never know. But you're not going to find one if you're not looking. And you're not going to find one if you don't recognize it. So the most important thing is, if you want to be successful in learning and understanding about coins, is to do that. Learn every day. Learn everything you can so that you can spot the treasure when it comes across your face. And that that way you have the unicorn. If everything looks like a horse, you're never going to know, right? So,
Sitting horse or a pooping horse?
Yeah.
So another thing I have to say is, the term unicorn kind of bouncing off of Shay. Unicorn can mean different things for different people. You know, my unicorns I'm looking for are completely different than I'd say everyone else at this point, because my unicorns are coins that relate directly to my diet progression and diet trend work. Um, and some of those progressions and some of those things are harder to find than some of the mainstream um, everybody's looking for type of thing, because I kind of have the fault of nobody's looking for the thing that I need.
It reminded me that I needed to send you those pictures of the one of the cracked skull.
Yeah, everything's been busy, so it slipped my mind until you said something anyway. Um, so um, so unicorn can mean a lot of different things for everyone.
That's right. Yep. Unicorn could be, the most populous mintage coin out there, but in MS 69 or MS 70. I mean, a perfect coin. White whale could mean that last hole in your album, or that most expensive coin that goes in there that you actually maybe you cherry pick or find by accident, or but
84.
it's always fun to look for.
I mean, with me doing die progression and trend work, some die breaks are actually pretty scarce. And it's pretty interesting to put that body of work together and figure out by yourself and by doing research and things of that nature to find out what's scarce and what's not. Mm-hmm. I mean, a 55 that doesn't have the what is it, poor man's double?
Oh,
that can be a hard thing to find. Can be harder than you think. So, anyone else have any more input on that?
Oh, let's see. I do have some images I can pull up. I had we have a mail came in from Coin Captain with a 1967 quarter.
Captain.
Coin Captain. What is with the United is the question. So let me see if I have a picture of United in here. Boom. Boom. Maybe I have a closer picture. No.
Hi, Paula.
So from what I know, this is a normal reverse for 1967 quarter clad. I don't. Nothing stands out to me at this point. Anybody else see anything?
I see circulation damage and wear.
Circulation. The only thing that kind of could be misleading is the bottom of that E. I think that can sometimes be a little misleading there. But besides that, it's just a heavily circulated 60s quarter.
I believe that there are some 1967s out there that have a DDR on quarter dollar. I think also In God We Trust on the front of the coin is another area to look for on a 1967, and on I believe the date. Now there could also be some of these struck on a dime planchet. Let's see. Anything else?
Type B reverse too, I think.
Yeah, but as far as this one goes, it just looks very, very circulated. All right.
Okay, so I have the next round of photos here. It's another one. This is one from Corn Captain. So he says it's raised. He just doesn't have an idea with what it's clashed with. So let's get back to here. Present myself.
Okay, where were we at? I got knocked off again.
So he has an arrow pointing in this area, down below the ribbon on the reverse. Assuming he's referring to imagine this area here. It can be a little tricky with the photos.
Weird.
So
I'm going to say either a stain or some sort of damage. It almost looks like
Yeah, 'cause there's scratches all over.
yeah, it almost looks like that same curvature pattern kind of follows out to the rim. I almost think I see some of the damage on the rim as well in that same area.
Yeah, I don't see anything pronounced enough to be, anything of interest, at least in that area.
No, and there's not much that would be in that area anyway. I mean, you have possible die clashes, but very rarely do I see them on the reverse of shields. You have die cracks, which are actually very common around the ribbon area, but that does not appear to be a crack. So I'm going to say damage or part of a stain or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going with damage too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Usually when you see a bunch of hits and nicks and dings elsewhere in a coin, yeah. That too, Paul.
Oldies and goodies. How
Hey, Al.
are you?
Hey, oldies. Hi, Paula. All right. Then I did get one from Rhonda Tolliver. Let me switch over to that. It's a 1966 dime. It's a bit dark. The photos are dark.
Coin's dark.
Right.
There's no question. It just says 1966 dime. So I'm not sure what to answer other than to say, well, this looks like a clad 1966 Roosevelt dime. That's well circulated.
I imagine she's talking about the surface issues that's going on. It looks like the coin came out of the ground.
Yep.
It does look like a ground coin. There's some damage up here on the rim and on the head.
That damage was probably caused by a metal detectorist shovel.
Ouch.
Exactly. One of those knives.
Clink.
Yeah. Yeah, so I am a metal detectorist as well, and I can tell you this: any quarters, dimes that I dig out of the ground are black. Nickels, like older Jeffersons and even Indian heads, I dig them out of the ground, and sometimes they are red. They look like the surface of a brick. They turn a weird red color, and this happens in a very short amount of time. I've found, I remember, I think it was in 2018 when the quarters first came out. I found one just underneath the surface of the mulch in a local playground, and it had already turned black. So it happens real quickly.
pH in the soil.
Yeah, and some soil is actually good and helps conserve the coins a little bit, but most soil will corrode and destroy eventually the coins.
Oh, for sure. If anything, just getting wet.
Yep. And then if you're anywhere near the ocean, the salt water and that type of soil in that area is just, it really damages the coins. It shrinks them and corrodes them and pits them.
All right, I've got the next one. All righty. Ricky says, I got this really neat 1947D the other day out of a roll. I was wondering if this is a brush bristle or hair. That's kind of an odd question. Oh, let's see. It looks kind of like a glossy surface, like maybe there was some glue that something got stuck in.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
So we've had this discussion before about the old timers shellacking the coins.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be willing to bet, and I can actually see, yep, you're definitely circling around that pattern there. Even if you look at the flat field right outside the bust area, you can kind of see it around the neck, the bow tie and the vest. Yeah, that to me is a brush bristle stuck in shellac or some other clear coating.
Yeah, look at the holes in it too. You can see the actual copper from the set peeking through.
Yep.
Yeah, if you look at your high points, you can see where this coating has started to go away. Top of the ear, the temple, the jawline, and some of these areas across the coat.
Cheekbone, collar area of the vest. Yep.
Another thing another way you can tell it's been coated is you can see how all these minor details in the hair disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I would be willing to bet if you soak that in acetone,
Problem solved.
it would probably take that gunk off, and your bristle would fall off.
I think it is bristling mad.
It's kind of a shame because it's actually not a bad looking 47.
That's a sharp strike, yeah.
Yeah.
Sharp strike, mid die state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you look up in Trouse there, you can see the ridge ring starting to form.
Yeah, that deterioration ridge. Yep.
I've been finding quite a few of those lately.
Yeah, I love how my terminology's starting to stick finally.
Let's see what else is on here. Oh yeah, look.
That's what I learned like 20 plus years ago at Ridge Ring. It just stuck in my head now.
Okay.
Very
Do you
cool.
have the next one, or do you want me to pull that one up?
Let's see.
I think it would be Coin Collecting Texas.
I can grab it if you wish. That's fine with me.
Rhonda had said, I sent that dime back a while back for Paul. It looks like it doesn't have the finishing service. What I think she means is maybe she thought it didn't have the outer coating on the dime, or like it was missing its clad.
Missing the clad.
No, that's chemical something or other.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was environmental damage.
Yeah, that's damage. That's not missing
If you would be missing both of the outer clad layers on that dime, the details on the dime itself would be very, very weak. The weight of the dime would be light. The thickness of the dime would be much thinner than a normal dime. So those are very easy ways to tell that you are not missing a clad layer. All of the details are relatively sharp for that year dime, and it's basically just black, and that is a sure sign of environmental toning or damage or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so I should have up a photo from Coin Collecting Texas.
Oh,
So the question that's in here, I think this is a 1959D. I'm guessing a double nine. It says Dundee 9, but I imagine that's supposed to be double 9.
interesting.
Definitely some die gouging.
Yes, you have this area here, and you have this area that runs down off of that 9 right there.
Yeah, I think Frank hit the nail on the head with that. Looks like some large die gouges to me.
Or die attrition, as they sometimes call it. I just thought they'd sound a little better.
Well, I'm looking at the edge of that coin too, though. Its proximity to the damage there. I don't know. I've seen metal scraped off before from just somebody scraped or hit or it took a ding and then the metal ended up pressed against the coin. I don't know if that could be. I haven't seen any pictures like that for a 59D, but I may be mistaken.
To be able to tell if it's raised or in cues as well, I mean, it looks raised,
It does look raised.
but is it? I mean,
That's a little bit of a better angle there.
yeah.
That looks like a bristle brush again,
Or a hair.
or a hair of some sort. Yeah, but
It's also interesting to note at the top of the 9, the top left, it almost looks like there's a little hook coming off there too. But honestly, you know, the picture just isn't clear enough for me to make a sound judgment on that top mark. As far as the other two, the one right near the rim and the one inside the 9, I'm with Frank, and I believe that they are die gouges. The mint mark also looks interesting to me as well, though.
Yeah, I just caught that.
So you know, I'd be interested in seeing better pictures,
Okay.
if possible, of this coin. The
Okay,
lighting
so
is a little rough too.
Coin Collecting Texas is in the chat now. He says, no, it's an extra D under the 9. That known error.
So I do see pictures on where it has that. He has it WRPM 003, but let me look inside that 9 because that's all right. So I think it's kind of a match. Wexler says not all die variety specialists agree that this is an RPM variety, with some arguing that it is some form of damage. An overlay by Billy G. Crawford shows that the suspected errant mint mark punch does conform to the shape of the D mark. You'll have to form your own opinion regarding this. That's a weird word. Form your own opinion.
Shay, do you have a photo pulled up?
Yeah, let me.
I actually own one of these.
Yeah, so Paul's agreeing with it being RPM 3.
Chuck actually has this listed on his website as well, and he's saying the same thing. He's saying for now this will be placed here for informational purposes. He's listing it as 1MM021. And yeah, I mean, even the experts can't agree on this one. So the fact that there's that other mark right along the rim, though, really leans me more towards die gouges and some sort of die damage to me.
So I have the pick from Wexler. This is the one where there's an overlay of the D inside the 9 there. You can see the what I was thinking might have been damaged down here on the bottom right. Then we have another picture.
There's the gouge on there.
This is what it looks like straight on with light. And then this, where is it? They keep moving on me. 2, 3. Okay. I think I got 2 pictures of the same. All right. Anyway, yeah, this one.
So yes, that'd be a match to that.
Yeah, it would.
That is definitely what that is. That gouge on the rim is different too.
The Amber says feeder finger damage or something possibly, but still, UFOs are keepers.
Absolutely, always.
Yep.
So
I have one of these in mint state condition, and I will keep it because I think it's cool. But I'm of the opinion with the experts that believe this is not a OMM. I'm with that other mark down there by the rim. It's too coincidental to me, and I think something is back.
And the angles are really close too. They almost face the same direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's just bizarre.
Yeah, so good find.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that, man, it will send you down a rabbit hole for hours, and I love it. I love it. I think it's awesome.
Soaking up data.
There's so much dye abrasion on that coin as well that they were definitely trying to repair something, right? They were trying to hide something.
Well, yeah, you can see on that 9, it looks a little damaged.
Look at there's a straight line almost.
So
yeah,
the dye
Paula just said she'd love to see that die. So would I.
No doubt.
It's in my wheelhouse. I'm gonna have to write that down because I was not familiar with that. With a 59 with that floating up there like that.
I'm not familiar with that one either.
Yeah, I think I purchased mine from Delenia. I believe she had a couple of them for sale in the sales group.
Okay, I don't have any more emails, so.
Oh, cool. She's awesome.
Now I gotta see if I can find that sucker.
Yeah. Cool find. CCT.
Yeah. Good job, Coin Collecting Texas.
Yeah, I forgot to say that. That's a neat one.
Yeah, thanks for speaking up. Because that's just something that we weren't familiar with, at least.
That's what we need. Lots of different opinions.
JC says it's like trying to tell the difference between a 1922 weak D and an OD. Yeah.
Or is it a D period? That's
Yeah.
JC.
So, some of this stuff is not a direct science yet. Keyword on yet.
Yes.
I got a cool, I got a roll of 58 Franklins from the last coin show. I got a pretty good deal on it. And I've had it up here on the thing today. Let me see. There it is. But I have no less than 8 with this die break, and it has different progressions of this break.
Ooh,
very small all the way to much bigger.
I think I see Jeffrey drooling.
Yeah, you're getting me all excited.
But it's kind of interesting just to let me just flip through some of them real quick so you can see what I'm talking about.
Jeffrey just peed.
Okay, so Paula posted a link from the Lincoln Cent resource of controversial cents. So you have to look at that. And one of them on there is at 92. Yep.
Jeffrey just skied a bit.
Yeah, that was really wise.
I know I have that sucker somewhere and I can't find it. My collection's starting to become too big.
I have no idea what that's.
Hey, Shay, I have a question.
What's that?
So I have a question for you. Want to
Okay.
photograph some coins?
Oh, I've got to photograph these for sure.
That's what you can do. Make a gift
Where is that?
for whoever wants to see.
Yeah. Shay, what date is that?
1958 D. And it's not on Franklin Lovers. I sent him an email introducing myself and saying, "Hey, I'd love to, send you some die break." And I think I might have made another like a discovery of an RPM, potentially a double die as well. And I wanted to send him some pictures, but I haven't gotten a response yet.
Yeah. JC gave me a cool name to name that die break. The Heartbreak. Eagle with the Heartbreak.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
That reminds me of wrestling, man, growing up watching the Heartbreak Kid.
Heartbreak Kid, yep.
Eagle with heart surgery, open heart eagle.
The rib cage cracked eagle.
Oh, looks like we got some mail came in.
I was
just
going to ask, are we out of emails?
We were. I was refreshing now. Let's see. Coin Collecting
even better.
Texas. Give me a second here.
Eagle. Of spinning.
You got to send your pictures in. Checkmycoin at yahoo.com and send a question. Don't forget. I know you guys got a lot of coins.
I like Paula's there, the splitting eagle.
Mm-hmm. As opposed to spitting. Very cool.
Come on, image, open.
What's that, oldies? Are you loading, or you want me to load?
Shay, can you open it? Because my computer's not liking that. Open it right now.
Sure. Working on it now.
Thank you. Barbecue eagle ribs.
Man, I was just going to say, stop talking about food. I'm getting hungry.
So.
He didn't hear what Shay said.
I accidentally launched another application. No.
You know what I do? I accidentally hit my OBS all the time on my toolbar, and oh my god, it takes so long to load, and then I have to just close it up. And, yeah.
Manager.
So this was from Coin Collecting Texas. It was a straight on, beautiful picture, perfect. You got it. It's through plastic, but that's all right. You can see the shine on the raised, what they're calling the D mint mark there, and over here.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks for sending that.
So, yeah, I'd be up in the air on this one too. In terms of, I'd want to see some different die states on this one. I think that you'd be able to tell the most from that.
Yeah,
It seems like Wexler and Chuck both have the same basic die state listed. They all seem to have those abrasion lines.
you can really see him on that picture too, sticking up.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, so if I'll stick my neck out there and give an opinion, if there's really only one state that this appears in, and there's some die abrasions there, I'd lean more towards a gouge, um, personally.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one I put on the list. I'll look into that one. There's Cheapskate. How are you?
Hey, cheapskate.
Hey, Lewis.
All right, Coin Collected in Texas sent another one on right here. It says 1971 Ike dollar with weird E and Liberty.
Once again.
What are you thinking, Frank? Does that look like a die gouge?
Yep. Those spiky things. You see them on shield sets all the time, too. Z gouge or Z die. But it's a cool looking variety.
Yeah, you could name it the Speared E or something like that, and who knows? Maybe it'll gain in popularity.
Special pipes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a gouge. Some people might confuse it for a crack. That's not a crack. It's not superficial enough for me, and it's not. That still looks like a pretty early die state to have a crack.
Oh my God, oldies is killing me, man. Ribs sound good with brown sugar and lots of bacon.
Mm.
With the bacon again.
All right, we got something from Cajun coming in. Let me download that.
Yeah, Paul made a good point. This one with the angle it's on there, it could be from a feeder finger.
But feeder finger damage is along the same lines as a gouge.
Yeah.
So how would that work exactly, guys?
What do you mean?
Well, the feeder finger is the thing that knocks the coin out of the way after it's been punched or before it positions it, or is it the feeder finger on the planchets before it ever gets to the punching?
So feeder finger damage is just a long scratch into the die itself is what that is.
Yeah, so feeder finger is essentially feeding the planchet into the striking chamber. Right. And sometimes it gets caught or is not placed properly and is struck by the dies.
Yes.
In turn, it will scrape the dies and gouge them.
So you've got to think that the mint employee is sitting there looking, and he sees the finger feeder smashed all the bits that he's got to know something's up.
Yeah,
striking the die itself.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's striking coins so fast, so that by the time they catch it, you know, a couple hundred coins at least have been struck. You know what I'm saying?
And it sounds like it could just scratch too. Like it's that just split fraction of a second off where it scratches the die instead of getting actually hammered.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so typically how people determine a gouge from feeder finger damage, in quotations, is typically you're gonna have a bunch of gouges in essence, all in the same direction. So that's kind of where you can kind of jump from a gouge to feeder finger damage.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what JC means by his comment there, but the damage is actually occurring to the die, not the coin. The damage is then transferred to the subsequent coins that are struck by that die. But it's not the coin itself that's being damaged by the feeder finger.
Yep.
In essence.
Right. Otherwise, you would see that damage across the rest of the devices, and usually it's the after the coin has been punched, you don't see the metal has gone into those places where into the die, so you don't see the actual. You don't see it cross the devices. You see it underneath in the field.
Yeah, if it was finger feeder damage on the coin itself, you wouldn't be able to pull a whole roll and have them all match. That's another thing too.
Yeah,
So if you think back to the minting process, you got to think about that's something that happens with the die striking the coins, not the coin itself.
yep, and you have to remember that the coin is the opposite or reverse image, mirror image, I'm sorry, of the die. So anything that's raised on the coin is actually in use on the die, and vice versa. So that's why it shows up on the flat fields of the coin, because that's the part of the die that is most exposed.
So JC brings up the point: if the die is damaged, there'd be a variety of them. That falls in the same lines as a clash. Most people are going to classify it as an error. Technically, it would be a variety.
It's a hybrid.
It's
Some of these, there's such a fine line between variety and error that
We need the term hybrid.
yeah. And honestly, you can find multiple coins with the same die gouge in it.
so
It is
technically,
the die that's damaged, not the coin, or it would be most likely a one of a kind thing.
yeah. So it's you can bounce back and forth between different terminology and different perceptions of things. Just like rotated dies, you can technically put a progression of those together, but that's something that you can track. But it's a good example is, say, classic RPM. But RPM is always going to have the same characteristics versus something like, feeder finger damage, which is going to get progressively worse. Die deterioration, which is going to get progressively worse. Because technically, that deterioration is something that's happened to that die. So that's why it technically be classified as an error in most people's books.
In my book, most of them get tossed back into circulation.
Yeah, for the most part, yep.
Word.
All right, let's see. While I'm downloading pictures from Cheapskate, I do have one more from. Well, we have one from Cajun. Let me put these up. Let's see. It's a 1970S. He gives me pictures from two different coins on the reverse. And the question or discussion is, here are a few pics of a 1970S. The G is over the F, it looks like. I got these from a BU roll, so no post-mint damage, in my humble opinion. The two reverse pics close up are two different coins. Okay, so the two reverse picks, there are three reverse picks, but I'm guessing that.
So let me address one comment made there. Just because a coin comes from a BU roll does not mean that coin can't be damaged.
Shay, you're still presenting on yourself.
Oh,
yeah, post-mint damage can happen anytime after the coin is minted. And these coins are business strike coins. They are made for circulation. They're not handled with the greatest of care. They're dumped in the huge tubs. They bang against each other. They hit pieces of machinery. So even from a BU roll, if you look at the front of that coin, you can see scratches on. I mean, there's gouges and scratches all over the coin, and that's right from a BU roll. So right there proves that you can get post-mint damaged coins directly from a sealed roll.
I think we were always saying that anything that happens after the coin is struck is post-mint damage, right?
Yeah, and the term post-mint damage itself is a little confusing because technically a coin can get damaged at the mint, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's after it was struck by the die. So
Strike damage is probably right.
kind of going. We'll read off Paula's comment here. If it happened during any point in striking the coin, it's an error. It's only a variety if it happens during the making of a die.
So the FG is interesting though. And what
It
is this again? 1970D?
1970s.
Oh, okay.
70th. This looks like some deterioration to me.
I just want to check something. I want to check the
I was going
what they're supposed to look like. So reverse design varieties for 70S. Honestly, it's not really that far off from being normal. If you look at, it's actually RDV002. It's listed on Variety Vista. If you do a Google search for reverse design varieties, it'll come right up and you can click on that link and it shows you all the different reverses. RDV002 runs from 69 through 72 and is kind of like a mushy FG.
high relief.
Yeah, it's a little on the smaller side when compared to number 3.
Well, yeah, 3 has clear separation, whereas 2 is.
Yeah, and 3 is actually huge in size compared to number 2.
They went a little overboard the other direction.
Yeah, you think. But I honestly think it looks normal to me with a little bit of deterioration. And in this specific picture, the glare seems to be highlighting that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the glare is going to highlight it.
And if you look at that step there on the memorial base, you can actually see some machine doubling going on as well. Yep.
Trey just did some math on the back of a $1 bill. Kids.
No respect.
Yeah. So just look at it before you give an opinion, please. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I was looking at it. I was just addressing the comment that it came out of a BU roll, so it couldn't be post-mint damage. That comment was incorrect because I pull damaged coins from BU rolls all the time. It happens.
All right, the next one I have is from Cheapskate. I don't have all the images yet, but I do have quite a few loaded up, so here we go. The question from Cheapskate is, hey, I just wanted to see if you all think this is damage on both sides or maybe a greaser or something. Let's flip through some of these pictures.
Damage.
This looks like a dryer coin.
Big time.
Yeah, it's kind of like what would they call this type of artwork? Postmodern impressionist. It's kind of cool looking, but yeah, damage.
Almost surreal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all your devices are just smashed.
It's like Liberty's on fire.
I mean, if it was in a big poster, I would put it on my wall because
I would probably do that too. That is pretty cool.
Frame it up, put it on the wall.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this is one I would call a dryer coin, but I have quite a few examples of coins just like this on my one of my blog articles about dryer coins, and it just looks like it was beat up from every single angle possible over and over again. So
For a long time.
yeah, for a long time. So it's just a damaged coin at the end of the day.
All right.
Salvador Dali would be. What's going on the top of his head there?
Well, yeah, I had thought maybe we'd have some sort of cracked skull or something going on, but I can't tell exactly.
No.
Got like a G curl coming off the front of his head there.
Yeah.
Mini beehive.
This looks like damage here.
Yeah, it's damage.
Okay.
What's the date on it?
51, I think.
51. No, that's not a cracked skull.
Okay.
Yeah, he said Cheapskate said thanks. Just wanted to make sure because he just was weird with the fat letters, but yep.
All right. So give me a sec. I have to give me a second. I've got. He's embedded the images, so it's going to take me a second on the next one.
I guess we can move on to our next discussion topic. Might as well. Here we go. So I kind of haven't heard a lot about this in a long time, about the Great American Coin Hunt. So the Great American Coin Hunt happened in April. So have you seen any effects because of the Great American Coin Hunt? Now that we're about 3 months out from the Great American Coin Hunt.
I found something I've never found before. I just started into the boxes that I started getting in May. All right, so I have particular coins. I was picking up 2 boxes of pennies every week, and I just opened my first box from May, and my first penny roll had an interesting coin in it. Let me see if I can. Nope, wrong camera. That was in my penny roll.
Canadian.
Nice George. Oh, wow.
Oh, South Africa.
1942, South Africa.
6 old pence.
6 pence. That's right.
Very cool.
So I'm seeing stuff fall out that I don't normally find. Of course, I only got 8 rolls into that box, so.
Very cool.
So have you? So the idea behind this was to get new people into the hobby. Have you seen an influx of new people into the hobby?
Myself, some, not scary numbers, but some.
I have been receiving more email from people I've never met before with pictures of stuff that they want to know more about. I have, of course, I always talk to my waiters and I talk to people at the service stations and gas stations, whatever, and wherever, basically, baristas, and I'm always asking if I can buy their change, and they're always curious why I would want to do that. I always get a lot of interest, not a lot of follow-up, but I don't know if it's any more than normal, like.
Yeah. Hey, CJ.
I still find all sorts of people that don't even understand what the W quarter thing is.
So I was talking to Touch before Chris. It was like the Great American Coin Hunt came in like a typhoon and just went out with the wind. Just trickled off to nothing. I have, in the past month and a half to 2 months, I have not heard anything about the Great American Coin Hunt as a whole. So that was kind of a little concerning a little bit. I saw an influx of new people that I saw at least in the first month and a half after April, before April, up into April, and kind of I feel like it was a good initiative, but I feel like there was a little bit of a lack of a follow up in essence.
I wonder if
Nothing.
it was for those dealers that actually invested money in the advertising for it. I mean, there was a large group of dealers that were heavily involved in promoting that, and they had countless hours of their time, and I'm sure a little bit of money dedicated to promoting that whole thing. And I just wonder if it paid off for them, because honestly, I didn't see anything out of it at all. I didn't even find anything out of the ordinary in my change or the rolls that I get. Obviously, Shay, you did, so that's a pretty cool find there. That's one thing I never found, but I didn't really see anything at all. It's a little disappointing, actually. I was hoping I'd be finding all kinds of stuff in my rolls, but I haven't.
Well, I think it's transitioning, right? Like, I think. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're fine, Shay. I was just going to bring up Paula's point, but so Paula said she think it fell to the wayside with the release of the quarters. So the quarters were hot. They still kind of are. They're losing their value because everyone's finding them, of course, because they're not rare. I'll put my neck out online on that one. They're not rare. I don't consider them rare. They're relatively scarce. Not rare.
It's like the 95 double dice when they first came out, $200 a piece. Guess who bought two of them?
Hi, Stanley. Welcome. Hey, so I think it went from, all the stuff that all the people out there, they don't know what it is. They just want to get rid of it and get their money, right?
Yeah.
The people who got those coins. So where does it end up? It ends up getting rolled again. When are we going to see those rolls? As soon as that amount of change from that month gets into the rolls and gets back out into circulation, right? So we'll see ripples from its effect. The coin roll hunters are the next up to find what the dealers and everybody put out there, right? Everybody else, they may just thought it was a cool coin and stuck it in a drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a dealer up in Connecticut who was part of I'm going to say a chain of coin dealers, and he was putting out $10,000 worth of what they called rare coins and collectible coins into circulation. I mean, that's pretty drastic there, and to get that return back is going to take a long time. But man, I was tempted to drive up there myself and just start buying stuff with cash for change.
For real.
Yeah. So, and I feel like I always say this. I'm kind of mixed feelings on it. I think it was good at the time, but it was just kind of fell off the face of the earth. It felt like for me, but there still should be ripples. It usually takes a couple of months for some of these circulated coinage to get from the banks back to the rollers and back. So there should be a small ripple for the roll searchers at least.
Not to mention eBay and wherever else too.
So I guess we'll wait and see, kind of see what happens at least.
Yeah.
But I don't.
He just said the W quarters are some people's unicorns, and he's right about that.
Absolutely, yeah. So I guess I had my hopes high in essence for the Great American Coin Hunt, and it kind of didn't fulfill my expectations. But it was good. I absolutely think it was a good idea, and still was good, no matter how the outcome came, at least.
Hey, I wanted to actually organize or like start calling churches and other things that want to do a fundraiser and have them all go house to house looking for all their spare change, and then tell them, hey, I'll buy it from you at full price so you don't have to pay the fees at the banks for turning it in. I'll do that, but I'm going to get all those coins.
I hope you have a couple thousand spare dollars set aside for that.
Yeah, so the saving the bank that I go to said that somebody did that recently. They came in and they had 51 bags of coins.
Wow.
And a bag of pennies is 2,000, 2 boxes.
Oh, wow.
A bag of $50 is 2 boxes. It's it's a lot of coins and 51 bags. Yeah. If you guys want to pitch in for the cause. But imagine that, sending out everybody to go to everybody, say, all right, hey, give to a good cause, dump your change in here. And all they do is just take it in and turn it in and put it in the machine. No! Look at it first.
Well, the good thing is they're putting it in that machine, so it may make its way back to you, right?
Yeah.
Or they're tossing it over Niagara Falls, making a wish.
Yeah, and I'm sticking my little pinky cup in that Niagara Falls and sampling it,
Yeah.
Chris and Corn up there, I forget who posted. There was a pin of two 1909 VDBs made into a pin.
Yeah, that was Jay Painter that posted that.
And one of those 1909s was a double die number 1.
I know. What a shame, right?
I saw that.
And you know what? The details on the coins were pretty sharp too. I mean,
They were, yeah.
As far as the pin, you would think maybe it got more exposure and got worn down. I don't know, man, but what a shame.
I had really mixed feelings when I saw that. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I saw it was double die. I was like, oh.
Do you have a picture of it? I haven't seen it.
Crap. On Facebook, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's on Facebook and Corn Up.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do this without crashing my computer.
I posted a chair made out of $50 and then a penny. A car covered in pennies.
Yeah. There's certain bars that have
Yep.
penny bar tops, Morgan bar tops. I wouldn't be able to go in one of those places.
I saw a
That one called the silver dollar. That one called the silver dollar bar.
Yep.
Hey, Adriana.
All right.
Hi, guys.
Howdy.
Hi.
Nice
Where
to see
is
you,
that
strangers.
What was that?
Nice to see you, stranger. She said.
Ah, good to see you guys. Not that I can actually see you. I just see a little dragon.
I mean, like Logitech camera. So
Mm.
I'm stuck with this or my scope, one or the other.
Okay, so Cheapskate said that I'm just jealous I haven't found a Fujio cent in a roll. I would be more aggravated that I found a Fujio cent in a roll than anything.
What are you doing there?
I wouldn't.
I mean, of course I'd be excited, but it's that OCD of that coin's journey of getting scratched and beat to hell before it got in the roll.
Okay, so I finally found it.
That's the sound of a Canadian.
But
Bear with me.
If you find a Fujio, I accept donations of corn roll hunted Fujios.
CJ.
I accept donations of any Fujios, by the way.
Yeah, I saw a pool table that had
Ben's here, Wild Bill's here.
all around it.
I do have Cheapskate's
Jay's here.
Cheapskate's other image loaded. Let me switch to it. His question was, hey, wondering what was going on with the 5. It doesn't look like a typical dieware or MD, but also doesn't look like a chip or a crack. Thoughts? Okay.
Can you scoot over to the right of that 5?
Let me see if he's sent.
Ooh,
Spyware.
you know what that is. That's a poor man's.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
sure is.
yeah. So the reason why those fives look like that is because that curvature of that five is right in the same curvature as where that ridge rim falls and where that deterioration falls. So it falls around the bottom of that five, so it's going to be more prominent in that area because that die is going to weaken there, and that metal's going to flow and hit that. So that's why those fives are always more prominent, is because that deterioration ridge falls right across where that curvature at the bottom of the five.
Whoa, hello.
Oh,
Wow,
see
that's
red.
a MS65 red.
It's red for sure.
Sorry, that was pretty terrible.
I was trying,
Yeah, you can even-
trying to get a better picture because it's right in the corner of the picture. Yeah.
Wow, that's weird how that tail comes off of it like that, too. There's that just discoloration.
Yeah, but you can even see the top of the five starting to deteriorate away. See, it just says biggest clue, extra metal to the right towards the rim. Yep, towards the rim.
Another
Shade,
digit that's known for that same thing is the 3. So 1953 is also notorious for that poor man's doubling.
because the curvature lies right around where that deterioration is going to start. Shade, do you have a photo of the top of the coin? In God we trust.
Let's see.
Well, that was a good picture. I saw a lot of radial die flow lines.
Whoa.
So if you look up in God we trust, that's typically where most of you that deterioration ridge is going to form, because that's where you're going to have your most stress in terms of going up or across in God we trust along the rim. So you can see how that deterioration ridge has started there.
Very interesting.
Still a pretty decent 35.
You know, this is one of those coins that I would just keep as a reference. You know, I don't really think there's any extra value there, but I do think stuff like this is neat. It helps you learn how you know, deterioration can happen based on the design itself.
Good eye, though. Catching that.
See all these.
See you around, Al. Oh, there it is.
Badger was in Facebook jail.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean, what a shame. Look at that, man.
Oh, that's an early state, too.
Yeah, I know. Look at that. Look at that. It almost looks like
How dare
it
you?
was plated or something too. It has like a goldish color to it, but you can see, especially on the tops of these numbers that are showing right now, it has more of a copper color.
Maybe that
I'd
changed
say-
the color. Heat
It
from
was
the
probably
wells.
cleaned with something. Was cleaned with something is what gives it that color.
Or is that solder?
Well, that's solder holding the two together, and probably down there at the bottom of that one. Yeah, that's definitely solder.
And the
Actually, I
top.
see it. It's kind of weird. If you look at the very tops of the coins, both of them have a little dot of solder there too. So
Mhm.
I wonder if there was more to this at some point in time.
Interesting. You could desolder it, but those things are screwed.
Yeah, I guess leave it up to Leave it up to him to find some more 1909 double dies.
I know.
He's the king of them, that's for sure.
He definitely is.
Especially, he kills them rolls, man.
I mean, look at the details in the hair, how sharp it is.
Yeah. That's a really, really nice thing.
I mean, that almost had to be made in 1909. Yeah, that was definitely cool.
They were definitely made with mint state 1909 VDBs, that's for sure.
Okay.
Those are probably some beautiful coins before they got soldered.
Did he have reverse picks too? I don't remember.
I don't know. Let me see. I guess I should have looked.
Yeah, in the post he had photos of reverse.
Maybe I can.
Pretty sure.
That was in the YouTuber community?
No, it would be coin up.
Right on. Okay, that's right. Oh, what's that waffle thing? Weird.
And I'll pull the next set of photos.
Actually, he does. I'll send these two because they're very interesting. I should have saved them all, I guess.
It's mine.
Give me a second here and I'll get these next photos.
I was just going to screenshot.
I got them from
you got them?
Stanley.
Yeah.
All right. So the email reads, check this out. I posted it in CoinOp. Didn't get a response. This is from an OBW 1965 nickel roll. Several coins had weak strikes in the pattern of the material on the back of this coin. I am an experienced collector, but relatively new to error collecting. To me, it looks like a grease strike where some of the grease has been left behind. What do y'all think? It may not be worth much more than an unk, but it's pretty cool oddity. All right, let me show you the reverse that he's talking about.
So 65.
Whoa. It's gunk. Something.
Skunk.
Yeah, that's weird.
Just looks like crud.
Yeah, and I mean, I would take a toothpick and maybe pick at a little bit of it to see if you can get some of it off. And what sort of roll did he say it came out of?
He said other bank wrapped roll, OBW.
He's in chat right now. He says about 10 coins had that pattern.
Huh.
Interesting. Never heard of something like that happening.
I mean, it's very possible that it is mint grease. Up to the top left of Monticello, I almost see like that weird grease pattern that you get on the quarters a lot. If you go to the zoomed out photo, up above Monticello to the left, up in the corner there, it almost has that weird like pattern to it. But I don't really see weak details anywhere.
Oh, he said this is the only one with the material on it.
Oh.
Interesting.
So what did the other 9 have?
I guess probably weak strike is what I think he meant by that.
That's what I was going to say with these letters, the way they look, and
He's saying the pattern. About 10 coins had the pattern. So are you talking about like the striped look?
The stripes. Looks like somebody washed mud off of each one or something. But
yeah, exactly. And then smeared it as they were doing so.
Okay, he says a weak strike in the pattern of the material.
Hmm. I'm stumped. I think it's just gunk. But
yeah, I'm with Frank.
Probably had to be in hand.
yeah, I mean, just because it's an OBW roll doesn't mean that it's fresh from the mint. You know, armored car companies pick up change, take it back, roll it up, and then the banks order it from the Fed, and the Fed orders the armored car company to deliver it. So it's not always mint coins. Now the mint does work with them and gets coins into circulation that way, but not every OBW roll is going to be fresh, full of newly minted coins. It definitely can have circulation coins. So.
And the O stands for original too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Original bankrupt roll, as if the whole roll is the same year and the same condition, I guess.
Yeah.
Original bankroll is a coin that came from either the mint or directly from a roller from the mint.
Okay.
Is the true definition of original bankroll.
Yeah. So actually, Stanley, can we confirm that the entire roll was full of the same date and mint coins, or was it mixed?
Like a Loomis type thing.
And actually, Paula had a good question too. Was it an ender, this specific one?
So CJ says the local devices look like that deterioration to him, and all the nickels look like that. Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm really undecided on this. I think there's too many variables to be taken into account to really.
In him.
I mean, it could. Let's see, yes, all 1965. Some of the others were nice MS 65 to 66. 1965. This was about third from the end.
Yeah.
I mean, so here's the thing. It could be. I'm not really seeing any evidence of it being struck through grease, but that doesn't mean that that's not some sort of mint goop. These coins are going through machinery, and machinery needs to be lubricated. And so you got oil, you have grease, you have dirt, and you have metal shavings all mixing together to create what people call mint goop. And sometimes it just falls off and can get stuck on the coins.
Unemployed clothes.
Yeah, I mean, that could be what happened here, but I'm just not seeing any evidence of it being struck through grease.
Yeah, so that's
greasing.
So that's something that probably needs a little bit further investigation.
Yep. Oh, Chuck.
You got the next one?
Was there? Yeah, some more came in. I'll pull. Last time I looked there, I didn't see any new.
I sent the rest of those 1909 pictures, by the way.
All right. While he's loading that, I'll grab the pins.
Too many hands. Yep.
So sorry for the inconclusiveness on that, Stanley, but I think since you got some really nice nickels out of that roll, otherwise, it's not going to cost much to hold on to it, I think. All right, so let's see. Oh, didn't save. Why didn't it save?
Hey, Cindelicious.
Cindelicious, how are ya?
Hey, Cindy.
All right, so here's the reverse.
And anybody that knows anything about pins knows that is
an
old one. I mean, that's an old one. So I really do think this thing was made right around 1909.
Incredible.
In a hurry. Like, in a hurry.
Thing is, like, I mean, this for a guy like Jay who loves the 1909s and studies them, this is a really cool find.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is something that I would, if I was into the 1909s like he is, I'd never get rid of this thing. I like it the way it is. Hell, I might even wear the damn thing.
I know, right? Hey, look, double dice.
Yeah, it's very cool. But you can see the solder on the top on the reverse too. So that means it's on the bottom on the obverse, right? So, God, something else had to be on this thing.
Maybe they started that way and changed it to so they're facing. Maybe they had it like, you know what I'm saying, facing the like end to end or something like that at one
Yeah,
time.
maybe.
And then they changed their minds.
Definitely something else going on with that at some point in time. But very cool. And if Jay, if you're watching, probably not, but thanks for sharing that the coin op.
It's a double die and a double pin.
Yeah. I love collecting numismatic related stuff. I have a box full of like coin jewelry and
Cool, but gee.
I'm always going to like Goodwill and stuff like that, and I always seem to find that kind of stuff there.
Yeah, so my wallet has a buffalo nickel in it, and the money clip got a buffalo nickel in it. Okay, so this is another one from Stanley. And he goes, a wicked die scratch goes behind Duke Ellington. So he found 3 in the same roll and about 50 die chips. So let's take a look.
I know the die chips are pretty common all over his arm and hand and shoulder, that area.
Okay, so he's referring to, so a little bit of a foreshadowing. He's referring about this area here.
Ah.
It kind of runs here. So it's back here, and then it comes down across the piano. You can see it here as well.
Well,
look how
you got 2 of them with the same exact scrape. That is a die scrape, and I believe that's from a feeder finger.
Look at the orientation of the word Ellington to the piano keys on both of them. It's different somehow.
I don't know if that's possible, is it?
Oh, he's looking at, okay. Yeah, see the spacing there? It looks different on the one to the right. Oh, yeah, that's feeder finger gouges for sure. Go to the picture with both coins.
You want both?
Sorry. Yes. See how the word is oriented pretty much parallel with the keys? Now, if you go to the next one on the right, it looks not parallel. Like it was.
Frank?
It's wrong.
Frank, what do you have in your pipe?
Is it shadowing? Yeah, it might be the shadowing.
I think the coin is actually turned a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, the coin's turned a touch. Let me see. Yeah, a little bit of a different orientation.
Too.
You know,
Yeah,
these were also good. Somebody posted one of these that everybody thought was a double die, and it had to do with right under the ELL, which is actually a known double die for this.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it also lines up perfectly with Washington's ear on the opposite side of the coin. So there's many die clashes that are very, very similar to the double dies. I just happen to have one that's really strong, and it was stronger than the example that was posted in the group. So I showed him mine, and actually you can see some of the hair details under the piano on mine. So a lot of neat stuff to look for on this quarter as well.
Very interesting. Funny, Paula. It's called Sasquatch. It's like vanilla cream.
What you got in that vape?
Funny.
Okay. I don't see any more emails.
More pictures.
I see no more.
Oh, was that yours, Stanley? He said that was another one of his that he posted on CoinOp from the same roll.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that was Stanley's email.
Cool.
He finds some neat stuff.
I'd love to find a couple rolls of these Duke Ellington quarters. I think there's a lot of potential there.
I am constantly looking for those things. That's one I haven't found yet. Like,
They're hard to find. All
Yeah.
those 2009s in original rolls are hard to find.
I mean, it's just hard to find the 2009s anyway. I mean, they're
I find the quarters the most, and then next dimes. No, the cents quarters, the dimes, and nickels. I have the hardest time finding.
Oh, Cindy's going to send some pictures in.
I do get a lot of the Guam and Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. I get all those, more than the District of Columbia. I think I get maybe 2 Duke Ellingtons out of a box, and one of them's a D. You know, so
One of the funny things, Shay, the ones I see the most, Texas.
Texas. I do get a lot of those.
It's calling me back, I think.
I haven't found the one with the dye chips yet. And I still haven't found, like, all these Denvers have the doubled ear, and I have yet to find a doubled ear doubling on the ear on any quarter yet. Have y'all found any?
No.
But I
Now I don't go out of my way to hunt quarters, but whatever I get in my change and whatever, I will check that. But I've never found any.
Oh, you see what CJ said?
Someone needs 2009 D nickels. And Stanley says he found 2 full roll 2009 rolls in a 30 roll collection dump. That's awesome.
Yeah.
30 rolls of unstated.
Hey, that's the start of 30 books.
It's a good point.
I think big. Big.
Big picture, exactly.
I think Chris left. I'll wait until Chris comes back.
Cindy's going to send some pictures, she said.
Do you guys know how we saw those? What was it? Those modern quarters that had those earring-looking things on them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The price that those are going on eBay, holy Christ!
Really?
Yeah. And nobody knows what the hell's going on with them.
I mean, there were some things about it being the hardness test or whatever.
Oh,
No.
Oh God, Rockwell.
No, it's
Rockwell.
not going to be it.
Yeah. It's not, oh my God.
Pete Apple was doing a lot of research on those Rockwell hardness test marks, and what he found was basically you're never going to find a coin that shows that, because what they do is they have test dies that they actually test for hardness. They don't test the true dies that are being used for hardness. So, yeah, he finally got his answer on that directly from the mint. So
That would make total sense too.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so he found some pretty interesting stuff out about
No,
that.
those quarters with those marks on them, I mean, kudos to those guys that are able to sell that stuff for that money. But, you know, who are the dumb idiots that are paying that kind of money for them? I mean, come on.
I mean, crazy money.
Like the guy that found them in the CoinOp group, I believe he found at least a full roll of them. So, you know, there's got to be, and there was a couple people that were showing them. Oh, I found one of those too. So it's not even like they're uncommon, really.
That's a great question, Melissa. And I think it's horrible for brick and mortar anymore. Between rent and utilities, unless you own the building.
Yeah, you know what, Frank, that's a good point. I think if you're going to run a brick and mortar store, you have to own the building.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to cover all your overhead and then make enough profit to sustain your life.
Insurance.
That's why they say it takes $2 million to make $1 million in this business.
Yeah, exactly. You want to make
Honestly, the few coin dealers that I have that are even relatively close to me are they're into something else too. Like the one dealer, their coins and jewelry. Okay.
like antiques, like little, like, you know, old little Tonka trucks and
yeah.
records.
They're always into more than just the coins because I just don't think there's enough interest anymore. It's funny because the closest dealer to me, they're actually really big into precious metals. I mean, they do gigantic deals daily. But they also do the jewelry and everything else. But I asked them, I said, are there many collectors around here? And he said, yeah. He said, the problem is they're all dying. And what he meant by that was they're all old. They're all older people, and there's not many young people in this area, at least where I am, that are into this sort of thing. So
Sad fact.
So same here. Okay, so Cheapskate brings up a good point here. He goes, here's a question. If enough folks pay big money for something we don't consider to be worth it, does that raise the value of the coin since the values are based on auction prices, including eBay? So think about your stock market. A new stock comes on the market. It's big, it's hot. Think it's the same thing with W quarters. It's on the market. Everybody thinks it's the next big thing. You come down the line, and it turns out it's not the next big thing. That stock price plummets then.
And you're stuck with that.
yeah, there's very few coins that stand the test of time. You have your extreme rarities, your key dates, the rare varieties, and of course errors are always in there. Extreme errors, of course. Those are the things that are going to hold their value over time. These W quarters that everybody's going crazy for right now, once they finally get evenly distributed throughout the country and everybody that wants one finally has one, the value is going to plummet. And there's more than enough of them minted that anybody that wants one can have one.
Not to mention Chinese repros. Anyway, let's go back to the chat. Big market. I don't know how many of you get Aeroscope, but there's a great article in there about in the last issue about how the Chinese market is now dipping into error variety markets.
Luckily, they're terrible at it right now.
Yes, this is true.
I mean, how many of those fake 55 double dice have you seen? And they don't even get the doubling right. It's totally wrong.
What's with the rated edge here?
Yeah, or I've seen like the off-center wheat pennies where the part that wasn't struck is like raised. It's like they don't understand the concept, right?
Yeah.
So to actually answer Cheapskate's question, Jeffrey was kind of right on the money with it. If enough people pay for it, does it make that specific coin worth it? At this specific time, yes, it does. But that doesn't mean it's going to hold its value forever.
Another good example is Bitcoin. When it was cranking at $16,000.
Yeah, and there's plenty of money that became, or there's plenty of people, I'm sorry, that became multimillionaires instantly. And on the other side of that, there's plenty of people that got in a little too late, paid a little too much for it, and lost their life savings.
Man, it was just 13 grand the other day, and now it's down to 11. That thing's swinging like Crazy.
It's too risky.
Okay, so Paula asks in the chat, how do you feel about NGC partnering with eBay? I don't know enough about it to make a very
Brand new.
informed opinion about it.
Yeah, so basically what they're going to do is they're offering an attribution service online is what they're doing, and they're going to have people pay to get their coins looked at and given a grade through picture format. And then once they do that, they're going to get a slip or a receipt, and then they can get the coin graded at a show or whatever. Honestly, it's probably a genius idea for them, and they're probably going to make money off of it.
They're going to be busy.
Me personally, you know, I'm just not a fan of degrading companies anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. But from a business standpoint, I think it's a great idea for them.
Yeah, that's a topic I don't want to kind of blurt out yet. Just like the whole PCGS proof-like
Yeah.
designation.
But I mean, let's be honest. It's difficult to accurately grade a coin through pictures, and then you're going to run into the problem where how many people can actually take a really good picture of a coin? So it has it set right from the get-go.
It's hard to grade a coin in hand.
They'll say bring it to the show, and nobody will wind up showing up.
So the biggest thing with that is I would want to see how they're going about their guarantee of their grade they're giving is my biggest thing. So I don't want to make a, in essence, public statement about how I feel in opinion on that until I know more about some of that logistics and legal side of stuff.
Jeffrey. We're all friends here. Spit it out.
Hey, the minority doesn't talk to me. I don't need NGC and PCGS not to talk to me.
Well, you shouldn't have said those things about them.
I know, dude.
You know, Paula did say, and I agree with her here, the authentication part is good. I agree with that. And honestly, I think eBay should have had people doing this for years. How many fakes are listed on eBay? I mean, let's be real here. I've reported hundreds of people. There's Facebook groups that are dedicated to reporting sellers that are selling fake coins on eBay. That's how bad the problem is.
Yeah, I have a laugh reel on my phone about some of the eBay craziness.
And that, you know, that's what's good about the Facebook coin groups, the legitimate ones, the good ones, the active ones. You can weed that stuff out. eBay is just a free-for-all. It's crazy. It's like Mad Max goes to Thunderdome. I mean, anything goes there. It's crazy.
Deal, face the wheel.
So I know.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I know Shay's been sitting here with this photo. Shay, you want to talk about this? I know you've been sitting there twiddling your thumbs waiting.
No, I was loading Cinderlicious pictures.
Probably hitting that vape.
Hey, I've been muting before vaping. Huh? All right, so yeah, I just thought this was interesting. I'm 99.999% sure it's just damage from something, but I thought it was kind of interesting how some of the pattern was in the hit, whatever it was that was used to hit. I don't know.
Oh, that's a tiny hole.
Yeah.
You know what's funny there? When you had it zoomed in, it actually looked like it was raised to me.
Oh, it really? Yeah, no, it's definitely a big old hole.
Wow. It did look raised.
Oh, yeah. It does here. Let me shine some light on it. There you go.
All right.
But anyway, yeah, just damage. But
Interesting. Yeah, the spacing and the regularity kind of.
yeah, I mean, for a second, I thought maybe strike through because of the pattern that was still left behind. You know, I would have thought that there was a full, but you know, right in the middle, it's kind of square, so it's more like a straw-shaped thing, metal thing.
There
Right?
wouldn't be pattern if it was a straight through, though.
There would be pattern. Yeah.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh,
Because whatever object it was that came between the die and the planchet
would have ripped it away.
would block it. Would block it.
Can you show that zoomed out photo again?
Sure.
Or actually just zoom out. We're not looking at photos. We're actually looking at a live. This is live, folks. Wasn't there another one up above it? Or okay, yeah, two of them. That's weird.
Jeez, man, he must have gotten a real colonial duel.
Somebody shot back. He's holding.
That's a big old musket ball right there.
Exactly. And you know what? His life was a silver dollar.
But
You
you guys know I keep angry coins, and this fell into the definition for me. So.
That's very cool.
Yeah, next coin that we got from Sin Delicious, she says
Ding.
it's fake, or she said, "Is this real?" Sorry, I got that backwards. So there was just a story about these 1872 seeded dollars coming from China, and it was going over all the different markers. There was a bit over the A, but this is a 73, so a different year. But I imagine they're trying to get any year they can to pass it off. So I don't know yet. Look at that.
I don't see anything that. There's nothing that sticks out to me that says it's not real.
It's a half.
It's $1.
Oh, it's $1. Okay.
Oh.
Everything's blocked out by the Brady Bunch stuff at the bottom here.
What? So it weighed in at 26.7. What is the weight supposed to be?
6.5, I think.
So what is it? It's a 73S?
Yes.
2 minutes. Right.
1873S. Liberty seeded should be 26.73 grams.
I take it back. I thought it was a half.
Yeah. So you know what? 26.73 is the weight, and it's weighing in at 26.7. Right there, the weight's on. So unless the coin is a weird size and doesn't match the size of a real one, if she has a real one to compare it to, because I've seen fakes that weighed correctly, but they were much thicker than normal. I've seen Morgan dollars like
The interesting thing is that the red book says the 1873S, there was 700 minted, and there's unknown in any collection.
What the?
So let's see here.
So it's a 73S.
Wow.
700 of them.
700 minted, and it has the correct weight. So then we look at one other thing. Is that mint mark correct?
No, the mint mark looks off.
Is the mint mark applied?
I've never had $1 seated. I would never know.
Let me pull up one from USA Coin Book of a 73S.
I've never even seen one pass through here. Excuse me.
Give me a second, and I'll get us a photo.
Unicorn, that's more like a lottery ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, give me a second.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I can't even find a good image on Google.
That's insane, Cindy. If it sounds real.
I mean, the
Well,
position.
that's why I would love to see the. Of course, if they made it out of the same composition they were originally made out of, they could match the weight.
Maybe so.
So I'm showing a 73S.
Oh boy.
I wouldn't even know what the markers.
I'm seeing some markers. Hold on a second. Let me see what you see. I have.
Yeah, I'm seeing a different S.
I'm looking at the, I got pictures of a 71, and the leaves, those top two leaves actually overlap with that big leaf in the middle. And this one, it doesn't. That's the first thing that jumped out to me was, unless there was a design change, those leaves are supposed to overlap.
Which leaves? These leaves down here?
Yeah, those two right there, the bottom leaf of those two is supposed to overlap the middle one. And the bottom leaf should, I don't know. It's a close call. The picture's horrible that I'm looking at. Let me see if Breen says anything about this.
Shay, I have a photo pulled up of a 73S.
Yeah, and the mint mark is not the same font. Totally different font.
Let's switch over here.
Large S font.
The mint mark is my biggest giveaway.
Completely, yeah.
Completely
That looks like
different.
the 28 Lincolns.
And with only 700 minted, you know there's only one die for this coin.
Oh, yeah.
So on the 1873, there's a closed 3. There were 712,600 are proof, 4 minor varieties. Wait, let me see if I'm looking at the dollar. Hold on.
Oh.
I might be looking at. No, I'm looking at the halftime. Oh my God.
Oops, no, you did it too. I don't feel so
I
bad.
did it.
Yes, I'm gonna. Let me look back at the chat.
Oh, I am hoping for you, Cindy. Seriously.
There we go. Now I'm in the right area.
You could run over that with a truck and still get a pretty good payday.
1873, closed 3. So 293,600 were minted, plus or minus 600 for proof. Minute positional varieties. Coinage ended March 29th, 1873. Many melted after July 10th that year, including some 2,258 unsold proof dollars of this and previous years. Now that was a closed 3 on the Philadelphia. The S has a closed 3, 700 reported, unverified, 6 pairs of dies shipped November 1872. Possibly the entire mintage was melted after April 1873. See introductory text. Okay.
Okay, so according to the USA Coin Book, the 1873 Liberty seated dollar is a mysterious coin. The U.S. Mint reported that they struck 700 of these. Okay, yet not a single one is known to exist.
So let's look at the facts here, guys. We're getting in deep here, but when you really just take a step back and think about it, it's an extremely rare coin. The mint mark does not match. To me, those are big signs that say it's fake. The thing is, the weight seems correct. So there are other tests that need to be done that are easy to do. So number one, you can do the magnet test, and obviously it's probably not magnetic. But what I'm saying is the slide test. Make sure it's silver, right? Then you have to compare this coin to another Liberty seated $50. Since the weight is correct, something else could be wrong. The diameter could be slightly larger. The thickness could be slightly larger. There's many things they can do to get that weight where it needs to be. If everything there matches and it does pass the test for silver, this could be what's known as a, what do they call those old counterfeits?
Contemporary?
contemporary counterfeit, which those alone also have value. Okay, so this one definitely needs some further study because
the dirty.
Yeah, it's very
Collins will see the
interesting
date.
at least. And even if, like as Paula said, could it be a real 1873 with an applied mint mark? Even if that's the case, look at the mintage numbers for regular 1873. They're only 293,000. So it's still a good coin.
Oh, way to go, Shay. Is that the Google tools?
No, it's my photo paint.
Oh, right on. Oh, okay, I see. When I have the chat windowed along with Google Hangouts, I miss stuff.
So Paul is saying the date's off.
Look at the 7. It does look a little smaller than the rest of everything.
I don't know. I'm comparing to, I have Numista up, and they're showing an 1870. The 7 looks okay to me. The 7 looks like it's worn a little bit, but the shape, the top curvature of the 7, that seems to look okay to me.
Take it to a show.
I'll tell you what, if you're in Florida, go see Brian Rames, and I'll bet you he can tell you what it is.
So Paul said the 7 in the 70s different. On the 1970s different.
I'm looking at an 1870.
Yeah, 1870. Yeah.
The 7 should not be different. 1866 through 73 are the same design. KM number 100. Look at I'll pull up an 1872.
There was some interesting historical note. Because the drafters of the Mint Act of February 12, 1873 abolished this denomination in favor of the trade dollar, the silver lobby and their partisans nationwide called the bill the crime of 73. As if to add insult to injury, Congress in June 1874 demonetized all previous silver dollars and revoked their legal tender status. The Act of 228, 1878 restored it. So silver's only major commercial uses were in coinage, metals, dentistry, tableware, and jewelry. And the immense discoveries of the 1870s, of which the Comstock lode was only the most famous among many, lowered the metal's market value reckoned in gold dollars.
You know what that tells me, Shay? Politicians were idiots back then, too.
Some things remain true throughout the year.
Yeah, that 7 doesn't look right on a regular 73.
Yeah, the 7s that they use throughout on that piece are quite a bit more pointy.
Count the tentacles. Oh my god.
But what they do, what these counterfeiters do is they damage the coin and patina it, and they do all sorts of things to it to make it look worn and well circulated, so you would think you have a great coin. But
how many counterfeits have you seen that are weight correct, though?
Well, let me see if this one. So this Coin Week had an article June 20th about the 1872 seated Liberty counterfeit, and let me see. I can't remember if its weight was right on or not.
Yeah, for any 1873, that date does not look right.
I'm recusing myself. I know nothing of these dollars.
Jeffrey, what image are you comparing to? I'd like to look at that myself.
PCV.
USA coin book.
Oh,
Okay. So they're actually showing a proof. That coin showing on that website is a proof, which, I mean, the details obviously should be the same, right? I'm just not seeing what you're seeing that makes it look different. Is there something specific that you're seeing
What
that's
with
different?
the one that's on USA coin book?
Yes.
Give me a second.
Now, that zoomed out picture, I do not like the color of the coin. But it could be the picture.
the whole thing's like reddish orange.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that this is real. I'm definitely leaning towards the fake just because of the rarity alone. But what intrigues me is the weight, really, and
Okay,
I'm
so
seeing.
So the difference that I see is the 7 on the picture that Shay has. That 7 goes straight down. This one, you have a curl at the bottom of the 7, at least. The one's different. The one
Shay,
doesn't look right.
Can you get that zoomed in date picture again? Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Ah, well.
The other thing is that on all the other years, the base is not touching the rim.
Yep, Jeffrey, I see what you're seeing now on that 7.
Look at how that one's tilted compared to everything else.
The distance from the 3 to the rim, too.
Let's not also forget Shay read that there were. Oh, that wasn't for the S though. The 6 different die pairs, was that
Just for half dollars.
Oh, killing me.
Yeah, I don't like this one at all.
Yeah,
I didn't like it when I saw it. It was all mushy.
The tail of that 7 is definitely different. Now that I
And
see the too close up.
This is 73p is what this is. Yeah, I don't like it. It still could be silver. It still could be right in that regard, but it's. I'm gonna say completely and utterly no.
Yeah, I would have somebody that's well versed in contemporary counterfeits take a look at this one because, yeah, the details of the 7 are definitely wrong. I'll agree with that. I see that now. There's not a curvature on your coin, but the weight being correct is really interesting to me. If the size and diameter are correct, it almost tells me that they struck it out of 90% silver. That's almost the only way they can get the weight to match. It has to be the same density material. There's that vape, baby. Hit it.
Oh, God.
Forgot to mute.
Okay. I don't see any more emails.
Very cool coin though. Even if it is a counterfeit, it's something that I would keep. I have a few counterfeits myself that I enjoy quite a bit.
So did I ever tell you guys about that fake Morgan that I finally put the nail in the coffin?
Good.
I tell you about that. So I had this Morgan that I knew was fake. It had, the typical cast bubbles, is what I call them. The coin was sitting on my desk for at least 6 months. And I finally realized probably about a month ago that it's in a metal orientation.
Nice.
Wow.
Of all the things, I didn't flip that coin over and realize that. So
There's an aha moment.
yeah, I knew it was fake. The second I had to have bought that when I first started collecting from
You were
somewhere.
checking all kinds of dime markers and everything. And
This is
Hello.
Sin Delicious's coin, right?
Yes.
yes.
Cindy, I know you're on Facebook. Look for Andy Timmerman. I think he's pretty good with these counterfeits. And also, you want to look at a group called the Dark Side. They specialize in counterfeit coins, specifically early copper. But there's definitely some people on there that can tell you more about this coin.
And not only that, they would be very interested in this coin if it is counterfeit, because they would establish die markers. They would look across eBay for other examples being sold. They
For
they
sure.
have seller lists that they know of known sellers that are doing it. So yeah, Dark Side's good.
Jeff. There it is.
Look,
Wait, you got
second
it?
I saw it,
Metal.
here's this
That's great.
Morgan. So from the second I saw it, I knew it was fake. That's typical
Oh,
way
it's
those fakes
terrible.
look.
Oh yeah.
You turn it around.
Great.
Yo, that's one of those coins you can get off a Wish for like $1.90 shipped.
I had to have bought this coin 3 years ago when I was clueless about anything. Longer than
back
that.
on that, buddy.
Did any of you guys ever see my fake Eisenhower dollar?
Don't think
Someone
so.
faked an Ike?
I have a fake Ike. Yep.
It's a fake.
It is a fake.
Yeah, I got a fake Kennedy around here somewhere.
So yeah, that was.
What is the orientation on Cindy's coin? Good question.
What was the question?
What is the orientation on Cindy's coin? Hidden was asking.
Yeah,
Can't
so I
tell
got a
she could tell.
cool fake Morgan as a reference. That's always fun.
Well, yeah. Is it even silver though?
I doubt it.
Is it just like pewter or something?
Probably.
Bill's like,
Okay.
what hidden?
Sin Delicious said you sent. Sin Delicious send some photos zoomed in on the date and mint mark.
Cool.
Oh,
It does sound like silver.
give me a second. I'll get them. What?
Well,
Oh yeah, Jeff, give your coin a drop test.
apparently I haven't given I haven't done enough to get my desk clean yet.
Give me a second. I'll pull up. You'll like these photos. These photos are gonna.
Just bubblicious. Oh yeah.
Let me focus on myself.
Same
Anybody see a
seven.
dead giveaway?
I see a porous surface.
Oh god, the bubbles. Yeah.
Da-ding. Da-ding.
Yeah, cast.
Are these the same coin?
Yes.
The freak did they even get the details they get though? That's amazing. They must have to
There's
get
that
in there
one.
with like a tool or something.
Give me a second. We'll look at the reverse. My computer will catch up. Come on.
Coin looks like concrete. That's a good one.
Oh
Jason.
wow. But why didn't she send those pictures earlier?
Oh yeah.
You would have saved us a lot of gripe.
Yeah, I mean, this surface of that coin is so porous that
It's lunar.
it's obvious that it's a
Lunar
cast.
surface.
Yep. But like I said, you know, some of these contemporary counterfeits still have value, and if this one's made of silver, which is still a good possibility, it's at least worth its weight in silver.
Mhm.
So really cool coin, even though it's fake.
I would hang on to it for real.
Oh, Shay's got the fake Kennedy.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow, that's terrible. That doesn't even look like Kennedy.
It looks like
Max Headroom.
it's almost
Yeah, does anybody remember Max Headroom?
not Max Headroom.
That's us right now. We are all Max Headroom on the screen.
How you doing?
Wow, that's crazy, man.
It almost looks like a young Johnny Carson from the side.
There you go.
Yeah.
You bet
I
your
don't-
sweet Bippy.
That's some weird, wacky stuff.
Maybe sort of a little bit Reaganish as well.
Yeah, I see some Reagan in there.
Yeah, Reagan.
Yes.
I see a little bit of a
Kinda
turkey gobbler there.
Yeah. I love the tail he's got.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
alfalfa. We got some alfalfa
How's it going,
action.
man?
And man, those numbers are bad.
So what's this one made of, Shay? Is it clad?
I think it was.
Yeah, it's flat. Look at this.
Oh,
Oh my
that.
God.
What is it? A sparrow?
No, it looks like the eagle got.
Look at that. Heck's his head.
Oh my
That's his
God. What
beak.
is that?
So he's
What's that one god? It had like the body of a dog and the head of a black raven or something like that.
It looks like the eagle got an anvil dropped on his head straight out the cartoons.
That's like Thor right to the jaw there, or to the beak, or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a Egyptian bird head or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's Thoth. Thoth is the name of that god.
Oh, tough, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you got the Kennedy Toth dollar. I mean half. Stuff like that is so neat, though, don't you think? Somebody took a lot of time and effort to.
Throw it on the stove and tone it. Have fun with it.
It's also, I think it's a magician's coin. Listen to this.
Fun.
It's hollow.
Yeah, that definitely sounds hollow.
Yeah, the first time you dropped it, it sounded like it was hollow.
Oh, that's so bad.
I really like that hair sticking out the back. He's got bedhead, man.
DuckTales.
DuckTales. I forgot about that cartoon.
Anyway, there's always going to be fakes out there, and don't be like Schumacher and pay a bunch of money for something with copy on it.
No, it doesn't have copy on it.
Oh, it does it? It does it?
No, it doesn't say copy anywhere.
Oh, I thought you said it had the word copy on it.
No. Oh, to figure it out, it was fake, obviously. No, there ain't no copy on it. There's copy on it. I'm pretty blind.
Oh, crap. There go the sirens. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Squirting nickels. Speak of those in the chat. Look at this.
Yes.
I'm putting that up for auction. That's the
Who are your
original.
friends?
Oh, here I got some good pictures.
The pellet product, speaking of fig, was advertised in Morgan. $5 on it, worth it? Yeah, definitely, Cindy.
Okay, so Stanley said some kids missing the half from their second grade math money counting kit.
Perfect, Stanley. Perfect.
I got a collection of fakes. Some of them are really, really, really bad.
Yeah, I've been itching to offer my LCS some money to take his off his hands because he's got a bunch.
I never even thought to ask. What's his name? That
I don't know. Mine's all into like aquariums and fish now, and I was thinking of trading him my old aquarium.
Oh, trade him that fish
I want
tank.
an aquarium.
Feed that
Show
hobby.
him that fish tank you've been trying to get rid of.
Yeah, see, then I can convince him to sell me the store. So
Be like, that's all I need. Another hobby.
yeah.
You know what? I have another really cool fake. It's the 1986 Ellis Island commemorative dollar.
Oh, the first ones.
Yeah, it's fake.
Yeah, you talked about it before.
We got ads in there. Oh, fire up.
Hey, by the way, my Eisenhower fake that I told you about, metal alignment.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, Cindy said she's going to do a scratch test on it.
Cindy.
I have a fake 1840 seated Liberty dollar, also metal alignment.
Wow. How do you? Wow, somebody got like hurt for doing that.
Well,
This is all for you.
Well, see, the issue is you don't know it's metal alignment when you buy it.
Well, you do if you look, Jeffrey. The thing is, a lot of countries, that's how their coins are. They're made in metal alignment.
Exactly, Eden.
Yep.
So I guess they just assumed that ours were that way as well.
A lot of people think that these are real. They look at these, and it's called a half Anna. They look at these and see East India Company, and they think they're real. Most of these are sold by vendors on the street.
Hey, Shay.
Yeah.
That's a repunch date, buddy.
Yeah. Now you know why it kind of caught my attention.
Or maybe not. Maybe that's...
it's just damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could, I mean, it clearly, you got to do your homework before you spend money on stuff like that. Let's see, I have another one. Let me grab it.
Okay, some of my better fakes are coming their way, making their way there now.
Oh, I should just keep all these in the same.
Delicious said that he bought it expecting it to be fake. It was advertised as a Morgan. I'm curious to know where it was advertised, by the way. But she does think it's silver, and I'm with her on that. So she paid $5 for it. So honestly, I'd pay $5 all day long for even a known counterfeit.
Wow. I just found 4 2-cent pieces I hadn't seen in like 3 months.
I think Chris froze again.
But the one of them is for me.
I love finding new 2-cent pieces just laying around. One of them's got a cool lamination on it. It's awesome.
Am I not here?
Like, that's where that went.
Yeah, we heard you, Chris. We can, but you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting choppy.
There you go. You're better now.
I know you have an 1866 for
That
me.
was probably...
I do, Coin Dragon, I do.
The one thing I need to find are there's a couple wood grain 2-centers I have. Um, one I bought from Ken a long time back. Yeah, find where those are.
Is that the one with the fancy
I'm
565?
I forget what exactly it is. It's a gorgeous AU wood grain.
Acid says Silva.
Hey,
Oh, it
Shay,
is silver.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Shay, I have 18
Very interesting. I'm saying
through
contemporary.
1871. You got any other ones?
What's that?
I have 1864 through 1871. I need the rest of the set. Can you help me out?
The most expensive one?
You get 73, do you?
Actually, I'd like to get my hands on a 63. I'll trade you for that one.
Oh, right on, dude. How about a 64 mule?
Yeah,
Wow,
Chris.
wouldn't that be cool?
Chris, did you hear that Cindelicious did that acid test and it says it's silver?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I would do a little further research on that one, Cindy, because I really think I'm really starting to think it's a contemporary counterfeit. So, like I said, some of those have value. There's a lot of collectors out there for those as well. So, for $5, I mean, you can't go wrong with something like that.
Sometimes I trade for those 2-cent pieces with like email customers I have. Sometimes I find them. But I usually find good woody ones.
That's a nice one right there.
Oh,
That's small motto too, right?
No, that's large.
Is
You
it?
can see the G. The G is always a giveaway, right? That's a straight G.
that's you.
And you got 4 feathers. Now, I do think there might be some repunching going on here, but I can't prove it because Flynn's book doesn't have the variety shown.
Oh, is CJ still here?
Hello.
Maybe it's Cindy.
But you never know. I mean, once you start getting those books and searching through every reference and you can't find the same coin with the same pickup points, that's when it gets really exciting being a numismatist, huh?
Oh, absolutely, sure. Those old coppers, man. I love those things.
Good night, Hidden.
You said something about Woody 2-cent?
True that. Oh, ha, ha, ha. And tone.
I love that color, baby.
Oh,
Rainbow.
dude.
Oh, I'll see if I can find some photos.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Look, I got me a new lamp.
Oh, you got that.
Yeah.
I was looking at that exact same coin, dude. I was wondering who got it. I still have pictures of it saved in my hard drive.
So Shay, let me ask you: is this something you're keeping for your own collection, or do you have other plans?
Oh, this one I'm selling at auction. Yep. That one's coming up in the next auction. So.
I'll be there.
Let me see. I've been waiting for an email because I've really been wanting to make an announcement. But since I haven't gotten final confirmation, I've gotten several confirmations, but not a final confirmation. But there's going to be somebody joining us next week on our coin Q&A panel that I think you guys will like. It's a very special person in the community, very knowledgeable of coins, and I think it's going to be really awesome if that person gets to join us. So,
excellent.
You big tease, you.
Everybody's like, offer me.
Straight tease.
Bill.
I'll give you 1 billion Mantic coins if you tell us.
So I tell you what, guys, you guys should really get all your pictures together. Get them ready for next week. Get them ready in advance. Let's show them that we have lots of questions and really make it a good one.
Oh, you can do that.
Get your good errors out. Send some pictures. Send some pictures and good questions in.
Did my email come through?
Let me see.
Oh, Paula, come on now.
Trying to find some photos. I can't find them.
Your pictures.
I won't tell.
Oh yeah, okay, I got them. I'm pulling them up, Chris. Oh, you got a nice set here.
I have.
Why, thank you.
I hear that all the time. Of course, they're talking about, up here. I like food.
I grew them myself.
We're getting near that time when.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, we're going downhill quick.
Yeah, we're missing the ladies to keep us in the line. All right, let's see here.
Yeah, Paula.
All right.
Question
Loading the images now.
Pre-single squeeze for me, as far as Lincoln Sons go. Anyway, Stanley.
You know what? I really like the Shield series, and most people hate them, but there's so many really good double dies in the Shield series that are underrated, in my opinion. And I've found so many of them. It's just been a good series for me. It's done me well.
I love those 15 die 6s, man.
Oh yeah, 15 number 6, and actually number 9 I think should be a best of variety as well.
That's an underrated one too.
2014 number 3. I mean, that's one of my all-time favorites, especially the later stage with the lightning bolt die chip in the 4.
I want one of those. I saw that one that you got, and I'm like, I want one of those.
Yeah, I mean, those are nice ones. And then there's actually 2017. There's a really good one. I mean, they're so underrated. I don't know why they haven't really caught on as much as.
The only Lincoln set with the P mint mark.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
we should be snapping those up left, right, and center. We need to get
I actually know the guy that discovered the big one for 2017 P. His name is escaping me right now, but he ended up selling it on eBay, and he got like major money for it.
Wow.
Okay, so don't look at heat damage. That's on the page behind this. So I have an album that I have with like weird stuff in it, but there's my fake Ike.
Look at that forehead, man.
Yep. That one was sent to me by Kenny McClure. Oh yeah, it's big time fake. Look at that S mint mark. Look at the placement of it. Look at the shape of it.
It looks like the guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh yeah, Colin Stiles or something.
Yes.
I was thinking.
No, not Colin. The other.
I was thinking.
Oh yeah, Colin. It's just Stiles is the other guy.
Yes, Brian Stiles and Colin Mockery.
What about
Colin Mockery?
What about Herman Munster?
There you go. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, they faked the Nike.
Lily. 43 copper plated.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I saw that at a coin show, and I just had to have it. I like that. That is nice. That's a great effect.
And there needs to be like a boo in the back.
Dang it. Where's Ken with the sound machine? Dang it.
How dare you? Yeah.
So yeah, this is that 86 commemorative. That's a fake.
Wow. It's horrible.
Wait till you see the obverse.
Is that the Ike?
That is the Ike.
That is
I don't know why that one came out sideways,
That's
but
the semi. It's not the friendly eagle. It's the.
the ugly eagle.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the hybrid vulture. Repeat a quest also. Elephant.
Yeah, this is the, what, 1840? And we got a chain scent.
Oh, wow. Company
Yep.
rotate.
Look, it's a Schumacher copy.
I should have never said anything. Now I'm not going to live it down.
Oh, I like that. Zoom in and out real quick, man.
It's 3D. For those of you who remember SCTV.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to send in some photos of...
Okay, Cheapskate, be good.
Yeah, this one's bad. This is actually like
40.
this one was magnetic. So
Is it a half?
yeah, no, it's $1. Yeah.
Oh.
Look at that ugly chain scent.
So there's something missing.
Yeah, there's a lot missing.
Yeah, I would grab those just for the sake of having them, I think.
That mark there is actually a rip in the plastic, but this is a 1937 three-legged buffalo.
That's
Cotton.
Yeah.
what the? Fake.
There it is. Oh,
Bad coin.
Yeah, that is a bad coin.
What the frig?
Yeah.
They don't have that much detail.
Thank God that one said copy on it because it almost fooled me.
His
No, that's
ears
Abe
are
Lincoln.
recorded. Oh, that's crazy.
That's Abe Lincoln's beard. 4
not-
7 years ago.
Thank you for sending that. That's awesome.
Where's the obverse of that 86 at?
What's with the giraffe legs?
Didn't that picture come through?
Look at his back legs. They're like giraffe legs.
There we go.
Oh,
Look at
that's
that.
what?
Look at the date.
She's scary.
Look at that 7.
What the?
It's like 1906.
Oh, it's a 1906.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
It's funny and it's collectible. I totally dig it.
Wow.
So we were talking about unicorns earlier. I'm gonna pull up a photo of Jeff's unicorn.
Oh boy. Not that rainbow pooping unicorn emoji, is it?
I guess we'll find out.
A little dancing scene.
It does look like a mosque. That's kind of interesting in itself.
Yeah, I mean, I like the kind of stuff, and I mean, it's so fake, it's obvious, but still really cool.
And it just makes you laugh when you look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a unicorn.
That's Jeff's
What
unicorn.
the? Yeah, that's.
So this was a coin that sold in the Pogue sale, one of the Pogue sales. 65 red brown. You may want to guess what this thing sold for?
$35,000.
55 grand.
25.
Oh, that's a bargain.
Stole it.
That is a cool coin, though, isn't it?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, if that coin ever comes back on the market, I want it.
Good luck with that. You better start saving right now.
I don't have many coins
Your
left.
pennies.
Yeah.
You're going to have to sell your poster, your fire extinguisher, and your light switch cover.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
Bill
live one?
apparently sent one.
Did he?
No, she's on it.
Is Shay on it?
I'm muted, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
Jay, you should make another one of those things that just say damage with an exclamation point and flash that on the screen.
Oh, yes.
We got to get Ken with that sound machine, and we got to make like foghorns or something. Yep.
Or like a siren. Fake.
All right.
You're having way too much fun.
I know.
I can actually install one in Google Chrome that'll work on here.
Too much fun, or we're just all getting loopy by this hour of the night?
I'm getting something. I don't know what it is.
All right, these are from Bill, and he says, what's the extra metal in Liberty 1995? What's up with the date on the wheat back? Okay. All right, so two questions. What's up with the Liberty on the 95? And I believe, well,
Oh, look at those grains on that 54.
All right. Have a good night, Paula. Stay out of jail.
Night,
Paula, thank you for being here.
Feel better, Paula.
Yeah.
So you're on the tube.
Okay, so
Let me,
That coin.
yeah, let me start with the 95. So let me get this one over here. Liberty is
Lady.
95.
I'll be back.
So with this picture here, it looks normal to me. I see glare to the right side of each letter, which tells me the lighting is off to the right. And I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary on Liberty.
He's asking about the line before the I. I don't see it.
I mean, I see a little dark spot in between the L and the I. It could be a little touch of dye deterioration. I kind of think I see it down in between the legs of the R as well. But honestly, this is
I can't.
No, he's asking about before the L.
Before the L.
Yeah, this.
I'm just seeing glare, but if there's something there, it's most likely some sort of deterioration, similar to the poor man's doubling because of the small gap in between the L and the rim of the coin. It's a small area under a lot of pressure.
I don't see anything with that 95.
The next one was, what is up with the date on the wheat? I guess he's talking about between the 9 and 5.
5.
inside the 9.
See, it
And then
disappears on that picture.
it's just the 4.
Uh,
The same thing. That's just deterioration on the right side of that 4.
Yeah, and I think the lighting needs to be changed. The angle of the lighting coming down on the coins is gonna change what you're seeing a little bit. Once again, I see a glare to the right side of each of the numbers and the mint mark. So that's telling me that the light is off to the right a little bit. I try to have my light directly above the coin, shooting straight down. If it's a really high grade coin, I will have to put it off to an angle a little bit just because of the glare. But I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary on any of either one of these coins.
yeah, the only variety Wexler lists is on IGWT.
I will say the 95 is a nice looking coin though. Yeah, I mean that's a decent looking coin. If I would come across that,
That's
yeah, there's some
Where
wear
here?
in there.
We're here.
A big ding behind the head.
Mm-hmm.
But just the normal coin. I see some deterioration at the top of the T, or that could be split plate doubling up in there.
That's definitely a plating issue.
Yeah, it's probably green.
I didn't see any more emails.
All right.
No, it's getting late here. Probably
It's
Probably head out
11:52 on the East Coast.
Sorry, Bill, you didn't find your unicorn today, but keep looking.
been going about 3 hours. Been going about 3 hours. Does anybody have any closing remarks?
Keep on searching.
It's an input of the jury.
I posted a link down there to Ken's blog page on the Q&A. Down below there, you'll see a big old block of people who typically have been on the panel or typically who's on the panel. So make sure you go subscribe to those folks that put their time in. Chris, me, Shay, Corn Dragon. So hit the like button. Do all that happy fun stuff.
I'm going to
Thanks for having
host
us.
next week. It's going to be a little bit earlier than usual. It's going to be at 7:30 Central, which is a little bit earlier for the West Coast. Hint, hint.
That's gonna what 8:30 Central? I mean 8:30 Eastern.
8:30 Eastern. There you go.
That's gonna be right around our normal time we do it.
Yeah.
Now I know who it is.
I will find out when I find out.
All right, we're gonna.
That's your radio voice?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Why, thank you.
You've been tuning that microphone a little bit. It sounds really good.
Okay. All right. Well, have a good night, guys.
All right. Thank you,
See you
Shamar.
guys next week.
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you for pictures. Thank you for questions, chatting, hanging out. We'll see you around the tube.
Thanks, everyone.